Hi everyone, this is Lucy from Memory Keeper Journals, and this is my latest junk journal that I have made for a custom order, and I wanted to share it with you guys again. I should be having a few more coming up and a couple of them in my Etsy store soon. I will also do a flip through, but I'm still working on them. In the meantime, this one doesn't have a name. It's so pretty. Very girly, very, I don't know, little shabby chics, I guess I could say. Oops, the closure came off, but since it came off, I might as well show you. This is one of the closures that I've used before, and I gilded it with gold, vintage gold gilded wax, just so that it can match with this. It says she believed she could, so she did. I just thought it was very fitting, and everything I used is doilies, vintage laces. This is a crochet doily. You can see the lace here wrapped around in the back and the spine, and I also used the green one here. So this is a light baby blue, this is a light baby green with a cute embellishment of a dragonfly. And the closure, it has also 3 signatures, and it is bound. I bound it with wax thread, and I put a book plaque here, plate, and I used Rose Hills Paper Cottage handmade paper, and I stamped the word journal here, and the stamp is from TaylorMade and TaylorMade Journals. It's from Lorna, and I practically have almost all of her stamps, and this one is so pretty. I love it, and I used green to match with the lace. And the back, of course, continues with the doily, the vintage doily, and I also covered it with some another material underneath it so that we don't see the book board, and did a lot of layers with lace and pieces of doilies that I had and whatnot. And the closure is a tule that she can take apart and make it bigger if the book gets bigger. I like my books chunky, so if it gets bigger, I usually have a closure that I can actually adjust, so she can do that herself as well. The inside, well, even the border, I use a piece of the doily, but it's a different one, so I added on to this so that it looks good right inside of the book and the inside cover. In the inside cover, you will see there is a flip up, a flip out. Actually, this is a CD case decorated, and it's got a space inside so that she can add anything she wants, with a charm and a bow made with an eyelet on the corner. When you open it up, she can write on here. And here, there's the little journaling spots that she can write, or she can use it for a background to add pictures. So here she can write as well. And when you open it up, you have a ephemera little booklet where she can add tags, letters, envelopes, whatever she wants in here. And I added a few little tags here, cards that she can use for journaling anytime she wants. She can journal behind it and put it in here. Use some of Tim Holtz flowers to decorate it, and I did my own little collage using some of the papers from 49 Dragonfly, TaylorMade Journals, some of her vintage papers, her digitals, and I decorated here with cute little flowers from a lace trim Well, it's a trim, but it's a flower trim. And then here we have a vintage envelope from, it says 1912. This I purchased from Roseville Paper Cottage because I don't have anything that's vintage, or everything I've gotten vintage has been either gifted to me in a Happy Mail or I have purchased it myself from someone else. And I made a pocket out of it with part of that doily as well. Did a decoration and just ready for it. And the digital is from Martyna at Teal and Tattered, and it's the vintage rose, and I just love it. And you will also see throughout TaylorMade's Lorna's papers, so vintage wallpapers, her rose papers, all of the digitals are between them too. I love their digitals. And this journal, the first journal signature, I actually added pieces of doily and lace and little charms here with some beads. There's a tuck here with a vintage invoice as well, and I just decorated with some lace. Coffee dyed paper, these I made and I stenciled. This is handmade vintage paper. This is Edith Holden book page, so you'll see a few of these throughout the book as well. This is the wallpapers I was telling you about from Lorna at TaylorMade. Love the lace page as well. Coffee dyed paper, and I used some of the stamps from Lorna as well. Just like the word journal in the front, I also have it here with the definition on one of the pages. And this is a handmade paper from Roseville Paper Cottage that has all of the speckled golds. I've used it in my other journals as well. And it has a little tuck here with the lace. And she did say she loves lace and all kinds of little, you know, embellishments. So I tried to put as much as I could because otherwise this book would have never closed. Here's a vintage ledger paper, and I attached it to this journaling card, which is actually a tuck, so she can add a piece of paper or something, anything here, a card or anything. I actually used vintage wallpapers here, vintage music paper. In my collage I did a masterboard and I cut it into cards and tags and everything, so you will see some of those throughout, and I tried to do that with all of my journal as well, so it's a little about cohesive just to have a few of them. And she will also have some besides the journal and a book board for it so that she can write in it. Vintage ledger, lace pocket. Here's a journaling card with a cute leaf for a charm. Did a little collage here. This is part of that masterboard that I created. And the back has some writing space with some coffee dyed paper that I attached to it. And goes there. Wallpaper. Here is the middle of the signature, and I used one of the digitals from Raindrop Lila, I believe. It's her name. It's the first time I'm using her digital, and I love them because of all the pictures that she has. So I added this one here in the middle of the signature, and it's the, printed on picture paper, and it is a secret pocket. So I love those pictures, and there's a few throughout the journal as well. And here I made a I put an eyelet in here, added some tulle and a charm with a key, and another charm here, and I backed it with some of that lace so that it will reinforce it so it doesn't break. And here's another page with another pocket, and then obviously another pocket on the other side. And here's another part of that masterboard collage card, journaling card. And I used vintage paper, so this has a piece of a vintage envelope and letter from 1911. And these are the ones that I have purchased from Rose Hill at Paper Cottage. And I did a little collage in the back, and she could just do some writing here, whatever she wants to annotate a date, whatever. And then it's in front of this pocket. This is the lace pocket, but there's also a secret pocket back here, so she can add whatever she wants to add back there. Vintage paper, coffee dye paper, ledger, handmade paper, and here is a belly band, which you can add anything in there as well, with lace and ribbon. Book page, coffee dye paper, handmade paper, vintage handmade paper, coffee dye paper, stenciled, and the same thing. And this is the end of that signature with the beautiful rose from the digitals, vintage rose digital from Martyna at Teal and Tattered. Here I used the same one, but what I did is I fussy cut it and I added to the handmade paper on top of lace, and I made the cover for the second signature with it. And I did a few layers here with some lace and doily and whatnot, and then I added some beads and a charm of a dragonfly. This is the start of the second signature. How beautiful. I love this page. I think this is one of my favorite ones. I used one of the cards from the masterboard that I created, and I used it to do, sorry about that. So what I was saying, this is part of a masterboard from that I created with some vintage papers, and I collaged in it, and I made a tuck here for this tag. And this one I created when there was a prompt that was created by 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel, and I was participating in it as much as I could, and this was part of one of them using one of their prompts. The back is backed up with cardstock, so she could write back here with a white pen, and I will be including a white pen as well with this journal so that she can actually do that. And I did some crinkly sim binding, and this envelope is the back of the envelope that I used in the first signature, which is the vintage envelope. And I did a collage here, and I used some of Tim Holtz flowers to decorate it to match with this beautiful wallpaper, vintage wallpaper from TaylorMade's Digital. And I added some sari silk to decorate the border. And then this side is from the other digital, I think it's La Vie Rose from also TaylorMade journals, and you'll see a couple of those throughout the journal as well. Handmade paper. This is one of the pockets that I created with a paper bag, and there is some journaling cards inside, and I decorated it with a ribbon. I made holes in it, and I just made a little like an edging decoration. And in the back has like a little fussy cut of flowers that you can use for decorating any of the pages in the book. Here's a vintage invoice, and I added a little charm here with some beads and gold trim just to decorate that. Some vintage papers. This is a ephemera from 1958 as well, so she can use it for decorating, collaging, anything in the book. It's a pocket. And here's a page from the book of Edith Holden. So there's a few pages of these throughout the journal as well. Coffee time paper, vintage ledger, and here is the belly band that I also did in one of the prompts. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, belly band that I was using over one of the prompts that I was just doing for 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel, and it came out pretty cute for a belly band. I used some lace to decorate the edges of it, And then I created an envelope. Actually, this envelope is one of the regular envelopes that I got, and I coffee dyed it. And I also collaged all vintage papers all around it. So vintage letters, some labels, and on the inside I lined it with some digital. I can't remember who this person is. I believe is something creative. I keep forgetting her name. I love her videos, but I will link her below so that you guys can go and look at her videos. But this is one of her digitals that I just recently purchased from her in Etsy, and it's beautiful. I'm going to use it in one of my other journals that you will eventually see in the future. Then I added a journaling card inside, which is part of that masterboard that I created, and I collaged in it as well. And there is a cardstock in that craft paper, which is perfect to write with a white pen. And that will be included, like I said before, in the journal. More writing space. There's plenty of writing space in this journal. Here's another journaling card that she can write anything in the back of. And this is the middle of the second signature, which I used a lace. Again, that lace, I love this lace because it has the ribbon right in it. And the lace paper coffee, I think it's avocado dyed from TaylorMade as well. And this is another picture from Raindar Lila's digital as well. And I decorated it with one of those lace flowers, daisies. I love them. And I also made it into a secret pocket, which has an ephemera inside of an old 1957 little tiny invoice that she can use for collaging or decorating any of her pages. Here's more writing space. She can use this like a backdrop for pictures as well. So I mean, I did a lot of those wallpaper styles with flowers on them. They're gorgeous. This is the digital from TaylorMade, Levy Rose. Vintage ledger, coffee dyed paper, book page, Edith Holden, handmade paper from Rose Hill Paper Cottage with the gold speckles. And I sewed a pocket here with one of the wallpapers from TaylorMade. Coffee dyed paper. This is the other side of the invoice, and this is one of the pockets that I created. The other side of it, it has a journaling card and some decoration or collaging that I did on this side. And then on this side there is a pocket where this journaling tag belongs to, so I will put it in here. This is where it belongs, with some sari silk ribbon. And these are papers that I used from 49 Dragonflies. Handmade paper, digital. Look how beautiful the other side of the page. And here is another card from that masterboard where she can do some writing in the back. And she can use it like for a picture and use this as a background. So I didn't decorate it as much. I just used only the vintage papers that I had, vintage wallpaper, vintage letters, music paper, ledger, everything that I use of vintage books. Everything is in this like the masterboard that I cut into cards so that she can write behind it. She can use it for like a picture and glue it onto that. Here's a tag where she can write as well in the back of it, and it's in this pocket. And this is the second signature. In the back of the second signature, again, some of this cute little pom-pom kind of trim. And here is like a bookmark decorated and stenciled with some piece of lace here with some beads and cute little flower decoration. And it goes into this pocket. And this is the third and last signature. I put a little ribbon as a charm, with a charm here to decorate. You can actually add anything in the front if you wanted to as well. But I use this cover, I used a handmade paper, and I attached this digital from Martyna, Teal and Tattered, and lace decorate. And then the other side, there's a doily pocket. It's a paper doily, little tuck, corner tuck decorated with a little bit of collaging. And inside is a vintage letter that came in that envelope that I made the pocket from in the front and on the second signature from 1912. And she can use it for collaging, decorating the book, whatever she wants to do with it. Wallpaper from TaylorMade, and Lovely Rose digital on the other side, handmade paper. So there's plenty of writing space everywhere. Here's another cute little embellishment that I made. It's like a little tag with lace, and I added beads and a little camera. Very fitting because she is a photographer, so I know she's gonna appreciate seeing those tiny little cameras in her journal. Here's a little collage, vintage paper from 1958, coffee bag paper. This is one of the bags that I created as well. Brown bags that I altered and made it into little pockets for journaling cards where she can write, and collage in front of it. Cute little bow. And here she can use it for, like, you know, again, background for a picture or anything. And here's a little tab on this ledger. And here there is a decoration with a trim, or a trim. It's like a beads trim, really cute. It looks pearly, and I added this flip up lace, and she can just put anything behind it and cover it. And right in the back, here is a just pieces of Edith Holden books pages that I had left over, and I collage here on this page. A little tab with a charm and beads. This is in a vintage doily that I added, that she can actually use a ball pen and add whatever she wants on it as well, front and back. This is a vintage letter that is a digital from I believe it's TaylorMade as well. I'm not sure, or it could be from something creative. I keep forgetting her name. Oof, wow, but I'm gonna link her below. Anyways, I distressed it and I put it in here for decorating, and look how beautiful that page is. Just love it. Then the other side of it is a lace page. Isn't that beautiful? She could use it to put anything. Is white, so she can actually put pictures here and it'll stand out, or she can collage over it, whatever. This is the other side of the doily with some embroidery on it. So pretty. More writing space. And this is the other side of the page that I Edith Holden book page that I used for collaging on this one. Here's another picture from Raindrop Lila. Just beautiful. Love books. And I decorated it with the trim, and it's also a secret pocket so she can add anything in. Writing space. Here's the other side of the flip up. Ledger. And here is, this card goes inside of this pocket here, but it's the writing part of that masterboard that I created, and it has the gray backing that she also can use a white pen in, and it goes into this pocket right here. And in the front, she can use it for decorating, putting pictures, or use it as a backdrop for a picture. That's what I meant to say. Here's a tuck, another picture from her collection, her digitals, and handmade paper from Rose Hill Paper Cottage. Heather makes the best. They're so cute, and they have some cute little pieces of other colors inside, so I just thought it would be great to add here. And also a little camera charm again. I know she would love that. Coffee dyed paper, handmade paper, vintage invoice, and the other side of it, and this is a journaling card with handmade paper in the back that she can write on, writing space. And here's another side of the picture. Love this picture, has the camera on it. Actually added an applique from like a wedding dress lace, and I added some pearly beads here, a little charm of a rose inside of an eyelet with some tulle, and I reinforced it with some lace so that it doesn't break. Use Lovey Digital, love that one. Here's the other card, part of the master board as well, and I made it into a tuck, and it has a vintage 1957 invoice in here she can use for decorating in the journal as well, and she can write in the back with a white pen, and it goes inside this pocket here, corner pocket. And here I covered, this is the back of the last signature with lace, and it has a little tuck here, and this is the pocket in the back. This is inspired by Martyna at Teal and Tattered, and here I have a figure 8 little coin envelope with a journaling card inside where she can write in. And these are made, I made it like, I use these like buttons. I made another one for the other journal that has the buttons, handmade buttons, and it's made out of cardstock and paper. And I added a little charm with a key. And then this one has a little collage in the front, distressed ribbon with an eyelet, and then the inside another journaling card as well that she can use. And that's it. This is the back of the journal. Beautiful green, baby green lace, blue. Just really pretty. Really pretty. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I hope she loves it too. This is going to be one of the custom orders, and I have a couple more coming up that are also custom orders, and if and I'm gonna have a few that are gonna be in my Etsy store, but I will keep you guys updated, and I'm still working on a few of them, so you guys will see them soon. Okay, so this is it. I don't know what to call her, but I think she's pretty, and I hope you liked her. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time.